Are you a Hulk main who has had a terrible time this season? The second you pick the character and you jump in, you get CC'd, you lose all your health, and then your team says, just go Mac, just go Strange, just go Groot, get off Hulk. I don't think the Hulk's gonna work here.
You can't keep getting away with it!
You know the usual comments. Well, listen, this guide will be focused more on the fundamentals in terms of how to actually get value with the Hulk based on the tanks that you're going against. I'll probably do another video about how to do it against certain DPS and supports, but for now I'm going to focus on the tanks. And I'm going to do it in 3 separate parts. The playstyle that you're going to use based on the tanks you're going against, how to go about using your ult safely based on the tank you're going against, how to counter enemy ults with your cooldowns, right? The exile, the bubble, the air stun, things of that nature. I'm someone who's been playing Hulk for a while. It's the same thing for me. This season has been horrific, but there is a way in which you can still be able to use the Incredible Hulk. You just have to play it a certain way, right? Hulk is a big green target to the people who play this game, and they immediately want to extinguish his health bar. In terms of playstyle, all gonna be based on what tanks you're going against, DPS and supports. For example, right, I'll start off with the bad tanks. So for the bad tanks, probably the worst combination, at least to me, that I've had most difficulty with is Emma and Angelo. Emma, you already know what she can do. She can grab you, and if she grabs you 9 times out of 10, the team throws a bunch of damage towards you, you die. Angelo, she can literally push you into their team, push you off the map. She's probably the most annoying one. So those two, when you're going against them, you have to play it very, very safe. Angelo's really hard because she can come from anywhere, right? But the second you know, that's why you have to be very aware. You have to be constantly looking around you, right? But the second you know that she's in the area and she's trying to do a flank or to surprise you, keep your eyes on her, right? And if you see her coming and she's being obvious, you exile her. Then you can ping to your team, you can jump towards her, you can bubble, punch. She'll probably fly away at that point, and when she starts to fly away, you can air stun her, right? She's actually really easy to air stun when she let me show you. So when she's on the ground and she does this, right when she does that, I haven't I don't know how to show it here, but when she does that, if you come right up towards her and you know she's about to fly up, as in leave her grounded state, I'm pretty sure you can tackle her, right? And if you tackle her, you ping to your team, everybody will kill her, right? Emma she's rough because of her diamond form. You can permanently punch her, which is good for you because you can obviously farm ult charge, but the second you hear her diamond form, you have to jump away. You cannot stay to fight her diamond form. You have to avoid it in whatever way you can. If you have to jump to high ground, if you have to jump high up and cling to the wall, something. You can't stay there to try and fight her, right? Especially if you're gonna ult, the best way to ult safely is to wait for her to use her diamond form, or you can bait it, jump in, punch, jump away, you hear the diamond form go off. Now you have a free ult if you just wait for it to run out. So that's what you do against those two. Now for Penny, if you're going against Penny, you wherever her nest is, you have to avoid it. The good thing about this game is they have pretty good level design, so there are other routes, so you can't stay main. Like, more than likely she's gonna put her nest in main. So you're gonna have to either take, so if you're for example on midtown, you have to play on the little rooftops, right? Then try and jump the backline, right? Or you can go around the flank areas inside the buildings, right? Which I've done before. I went there with one of my other DPS and we were able to draw attention to ourselves, right? Which is always good, right? If they're looking both ways, somebody's gonna die. They're gonna mess up, right? As long as we're being careful, we're not overstepping. If I overstep and they have Bucky or anything like that, they're gonna pull me, stun me, earthbound me, and then I'm dead too, right? So it's all about being careful, right? So you can't just jump in a penny mine and punch. You will die. You will die. She's gonna stun you with her little web thing. The team's gonna pump damage into you and you're gonna die. You're gonna blow up. Penny is really hard to deal with. Again, the best thing you can do is just, you have to wait for your team to get rid of the nest, or you can jump up to high ground and clap her nest and help with a little bit of damage. But you can also jump in if it's almost done. You can jump in with your bubble and break the nest, right? Your bubble is gonna explode fast though, but it will at least allow you to get a little bit more damage. That way the nest is destroyed. And once that nest is gone, you can now play freely, right? You can jump in, you can dive the backline, you can perma punch her, let your team focus her so you guys kill her. Yeah, then thing is rough because of his charge, right? It knocks you up in the air. When it knocks you up in the air, you're a big target again, so they're gonna pump damage into you as well. The good thing about Thing though is that you can perma punch him too, just like you can perma punch her. Try, if you see him use his earthbound and you're not in the area, stay away from the earthbound area. It's always on the ground. Let me see if I can yeah, this whole thing is the earthbound effect. The whole thing is the earthbound effect, right? You see it, don't go near it, because if you go near it, you're not going to be able to jump, right? And it's going to reset your jump as well, right? And that's one of the most frustrating things about this character, is that his jump resets, which it should not happen, at least to me, right? The CC should not make my jump reset. It's so annoying, it's unnecessary. That would make Hulk feel a lot better. It would at least make it so you don't insta blow up with no escape, you know? But yeah, you with Thing, he's gonna be looking at your healer, so you just have to brawl him, which is again good for Hulk because you're gonna get a lot of ult charge. It's good for him too, but at least you're gonna get a lot of ult charge. It's a lot better than when you're going against Penny and you're not getting any ult charge, because you have to stay back and clap and wait, bubble, clap, because you can't punch anything, right? But he's still a problem, because he's gonna knock you up and make it so you can't escape. You have to be aware that if you see him charging towards you, just jump away. Just jump away. Don't try and overstep or wait or anything like that. It's gonna screw you over, right? Now those are to me the most threatening tanks. The good tanks are going to be double shield, which will be Magneto and Strange. Magneto and Strange, because of their shield, the barrier thing that Magneto has, this thing, and Doctor Strange is big wall shield. Hulk can literally punch that and still do the same damage he would do without their shield, right? And this is good for you, because if the two of them are on the same team, right, you're punching both of them at the same time, which means you're getting 2 times ult charge per punch, right? It's very good, right? If you're going against Magneto and Strange, Hulk does pretty good into both of them because of that reason, right? So they're good to go against, and they're easy to juggle. I messed it up. They're easy to juggle. Right? Because they don't have any high mobility. So it's easy to bully Mag around or Strange. Strange is a little bit more difficult because he has the levitate, right? But even when he levitates, you can immediately line up your jump to tackle him out of the air as well. So yeah, Magneto and Strange, very good for Hulk to deal with. Venom and Cap and Thor. So Venom is to me, he does good into Venom because his exile and his bubble. The bubble you would use to protect your team when Venom uses the tendrils, right? So the second you see him use the tendrils, you're gonna wait like maybe a second and a half, then you bubble, and he gets no value, right? He gets no value from his tendrils, right? So whenever he dives, always on cooldown, use your bubble, protect your supports from his tendrils. And when the team does enough damage to the Venom and you see him pop his E, the blue, his oval shield, wait like about, I would say, 2 seconds, a second or two, and you exile him, right? When you exile him, you're gonna see that the oval shield will start to run out. When that runs out, the whole team can just kill him immediately, right? If the team did enough damage to his health bar and he pops the oval shield, if you wait and he oversteps his time, or not oversteps, he gets greedy and stays in too deep, right? And his oval shield starts to go down, you exile him before he swings out. And when you exile him, again, exile lasts I think like 3 seconds. You're gonna see the blue shield drop, and by then it just takes like 1 or 2 more hits from your DPS or your supports and he's dead, right? He does real. And if you see Venom, he's, you know, tendriling your team, or not tendriling, primary attacking your team, right? And you see him going near a wall or backing up towards the wall, this is the best part. The second you see him crawl up, you just jump. You just jump, and every single time he will be tackled, and when he gets tackled, your whole team can pump damage into him again, and you just do it again and again and again. A lot of Venoms, they're very like, what's the word, stubborn. They're gonna keep trying to just climb up, and every single time you just do that. It's satisfying. It's probably one of the funnest tanks to go against, at least for me, just because of that. Now Captain America, it's basically the same thing. You're just gonna be, he's really easy to peel against because, you know, Hulk's hitbox is so big. Against Cap, he's gonna be very mobile, so you're gonna do your best to just stay nearby your supports and just keep punching. And again, you just do a simple bubble and he's not gonna be able to kill them, right? By then the other support heals the support, he has to now get out, right? If he tackling him out of the air is really hard to do, you can go for it, but I wouldn't try to do it over and over again because you're gonna be wasting your time. But if you get used to it, you can predict his jump and tackle him, right? It's usually easier to tackle him when he's right here. Let's see, when he's right here and you see him jump, he begins to jump, you're gonna tackle him every time. Or if he's going there, you're gonna tackle him, right? So it's when he's jumped and he's like right where my cursor is, you just predict into that space and you're gonna tackle him, right? Very hard to do though. And you know, you can obviously exile him too, which will make him hesitate on wanting to commit to the dive, and he's gonna try to get out, which again protects your supports, gives them time to heal everybody up, stabilize, get support, ult charge, blah blah blah. Thor is probably the most difficult one out of those 3. He's still good though to go into because he's not really going to be looking at you, he's going to be looking at the supports, which is always good for Hulk. It's just the same thing, you just keep punching. Exile him as much as you can. Thor, you have to keep exiling Thor, and the reason why I say that is because of his awakening. Especially now with the triple support meta, Thor will shred through your backline very quickly, right? So it's very important that you are what's the word? Yeah, that you're exiling him, you're stopping him from getting that big chunks of damage on your team, right? Because the bubble won't protect them for that long. Hulk's bubble is probably weaker. Pretty sure it's weaker than Magneto's singular bubble, right? It's only gonna protect them for so long. So for Thor, like high damage characters, someone like Thor, the exile is way more valuable because it will give your team time to heal up, use their cooldowns on him, a freeze, a sleep, right? And it'll make him back up as well, right? But that's what you do against. And then there's Groot too. Groot used to be a little bit better, but because of the new change where he has the wall that makes him non-CCable, you can't really exile him as much. It would be the same thing though if he doesn't have the wall up. Just keep exiling him too. Reason is because he changes the game so much with his walls. You're gonna really help out your team if you're exiling him over and over, preventing him from putting down the walls, blocking heals, causing disruption. And it's the same thing with Groot, because of his walls and because they're Hulk, you can obviously easily jump over his walls easily. That's why he's fine to play into Groot, at least to me. And the best part is, his exile and his shield counters his ult completely. Same thing with Strange. But yeah, I think I'm for this video I'm just gonna talk about the tanks. Now what you do when you ult. Now ulting, the only tanks that you really have to worry about when you're ulting, at least to me, is Emma. Emma isn't probably the only one I would say, right? Because of her diamond form, the grab, and her ultimate, right, when she mind controls you. Now diamond form, you just have to wait it out. Or not wait it out, you have to wait for her to use her diamond form. Once she uses her diamond form, you're free to go, right? That's why if you have your ult and you haven't seen Emma use diamond form yet, or you're not sure if she has it or not, just jump in, keep punching her. She's gonna eventually look at you, and when she sees that you're overstepping, she will probably pop it and you just jump out. But you have to wait for her to use it. You cannot use it without knowing whether or not she has used it, because I guarantee you the only time you can is if you dive bomb them way in the back, right? If you dive bomb them way in the back with your ult, right, and you're way far away from their supports and from her, she's gonna use her diamond form, but you're so far away. You can then clap the supports, auto clap the supports and get some damage in. But the second she approaches you, jump away. It's the same thing with Wolverine too. When you play against Wolverine, you bounce away from him. You stay away from Wolverine. At least if you know, if you're not sure if he has his grab, his kidnap move, right? But that's the main thing with the tanks. But the ulting is just jump up. Yeah, you have to wait for her to use her diamond form every time. If you don't, she'll grab you, you will die every time. The only other tank that you have to worry about, it's rare, but like you might get like thing players, they'll try and solo ult you the second you ult, right? Because it's a guaranteed kill. But again, it's much more valuable for him to use it on the supports, right? So you don't really have to worry about that as much, at least to me. The main thing is just ammo. A lot of the tanks have an ult that can counter his ult, right? But the main one you have to worry about is just Emma's, her ultimate and her diamond form. And when she ults, best thing you can do is just take cover. So if you're on somewhere like the Clintar map and you ult, You have to get behind a little bit of cover. Their supports are there. You just have to keep staying behind, clap, staying behind, clap, right? It's unfortunate. It means you don't really get that much value. The only value you get out of that is that they're looking at you and they're not looking at your, and they're also looking at your team. And Emma isn't using her ult on your team because her ult is way better than Hulk's ult. Because Hulk's ult is just much easier to counter, right? So worth it in my opinion, at least, right? Now countering enemy ults with Hulk, this is probably the biggest way you're gonna be able to get value, and I'll do another video on how to counter like DPS ults and support ults, but right now I'm just gonna do tanks because then this video would be way too long. I think it's already kind of long. Now for tanks, if you're going against Strange, you have to bubble your team. So if you see Strange clearly about to ult, you see him fly up and you see his hands do this, the little whatever the thing is called, you know, he's doing a spell, just jump in, bubble your team every time. Bubble your team so that way they don't get hit by it. And if some of them do, right, the second you bubble him, exile him, right? When you're in the game and you're not sure and you think he has it, just hold bubble and hold exile for him. Be safer, don't just play out in the open. If you play out in the open and you're trying to hold bubble, they're gonna make you use it, right? Somebody on the team is gonna make you use it. If it's a Punisher, if it's a Bucky, they're gonna make you use it, and then he's gonna jump in and ult because he sees, oh, he doesn't have anything to stop me, right? If you're going against Thing, it's the same thing. Thing zone is a little bit harder to do it against because he knocks you up. All Thing players will do is they'll charge in, right? And he's gonna knock you up, and then you can't jump in to help your team, right? You can't jump in to bubble him, and you can't exile him either, right? Well, you can exile him, but Thing's ult doesn't do as much damage as Strange's ult because Strange has the explosion move, right? So you're gonna have to again do the same thing. If you know that he has ult and there's a team fight about to happen, right, you save it, play safe, let your other tank play out in the front, and you stay back. You just poke with your clap. Don't use your bubble, don't use exile. It will literally, this is how you get some form of value with this character and make your team not say to you, get off Hulk, right? I'm not even focusing on juggling because the juggling, it's so hard to get now because you get CC to oblivion. It's still worth it to know, and it's gonna allow you to bring even more value, but this is how you get this is just about the fundamentals, right? So yeah, that's what you gotta do against Thing. It's the same thing with Groot as well. Now because of his iron wall, as I said before, you can't really exile him. If you see that he has the yellow aura, you can't exile him. So the number one thing is, again, play back. The second you see the Groot stepping up, right, you stay away from your team too. Don't, so that way you don't get caught in the Groot ult, so at least you can still move around if needed, right? But again, you jump in, you bubble, right? It's actually not a bad idea to stay with your team in that instance because the Groot ult will pull you in with them, and then you bubble, right, and protect them. What you can do is you can exile somebody else. So if he has the yellow aura, you can exile their DPS or their other tank that's trying to get some damage on your team in the Groot ult, right? It's gonna negate his ultimate completely. It will ruin their whole momentum. Like, a lot of team fights are won through these ultimates, right? Groot, Strange, Thing, that's how they get a lot of their value. And you can also use your ult to prevent, you know, someone like Emma, like right when you hear her say the first voice line, if you press exile, she won't be able to use her ult. It'll cancel completely, but that's rare, right? That's rare. Unless you see the character do the hand animation for the ult, then you can do it, right? But then by then, if you wait too long, the CC, you know, protection thing that she gets will activate. Same thing with Angelo. If you hear the hammer, jump in, bubble your team, right? Well, actually, wait, sorry. If it's Angelo, wait until you hear her charge in after she uses her ult to try to get her damage in, right? And then you bubble, right? If you bubble too early in a lot of these instances, it's not as valuable to your team because the bubble breaks so easily, right? So even though it can protect against anything in the game, literally, it'll break quick, right? So you can't just bubble immediately. You have to wait with Hulk's bubble, right? That's why against Strange, Thing, and Groot, definitely Strange, use it as you see him ulting. Keep your eyes on him and only him. If you know he has ult, just keep your eyes on him, and the second you see him use it, bubble, right? Bubble, and they won't even get hit by the ultimate. They'll be free, right? And yeah, I think the same thing with Venom too. You see Venom ult and he has his tendrils out, jump in, again, wait. Well, alright, Venom is a bit harder to shield considering you don't know when he's gonna pop up and do the chomp thing. This is again why you have to keep your eyes on these tanks. If you keep your eyes on Venom and you see him jump in and he uses the tendrils, right, you know he's gonna go for the one shot combo where he ults at the same time as the tendrils do damage. So if you see him pop the tendrils, you know you have to wait probably like, I think it's like 2 seconds or a second and a half after he uses his tendril or something like that. Just wait until you know that the tendril is about to grasp, right? And then you jump in and you bubble. That way he's probably gonna chomp and the chomp won't do any damage because, alright, it won't be, I think when Venom uses ult now, he gets like an anti-healing thing on everybody too, right? So they won't get hit. I don't think they get hit by it, at least I'm pretty sure they don't. If they cap ult, right, and your whole team is up and say one of your supports is close to their support ult, right? And this is the other thing too, very important, I should have said this from a long time, with the ultimates and bubbling. It's really big, right? Because sometimes you'll bubble your supports but you don't bubble the right support. Say your support, one of your supports is closest to their ultimate, like 93, 95, but you bubble the wrong one, and the other one has like 29% charge on their ultimate, right? And you're gonna need it very soon, right? You can lose the game with that, because if you bubble the wrong one and they're not protected and they can't live enough to get their support ult charge, it's all right. So you just press tab, you keep pressing tab and paying attention to where your team's support ults are, right? And once you see it's at 93, 95, and you see him go for a strange play, a strange ultimate, sorry, or a dive that's about to happen, right? Or the Venom is diving your team or cap or whoever, right? Jump in and protect that support, right? It's okay to leave the other one because you're gonna need the support ult, right? Especially if it's only 2 supports, you have to do it that way, right? Especially if it's a support that's not that doesn't have good survivability, like Luna, for example, right? But yeah, I think that's basically it. I'll probably do another video on what to do against DPS is also a crucial part too, right? If it's Bucky and Punisher, you have to play very safe, right? And supports as well, you know, Jeff ult, Namor ult. There's a lot of other things you have to counter and also look out for as Hulk, because again, to me he's the most fun tank in this game. He is, right? He's one of my favorite characters from Marvel, and I don't enjoy playing Magneto and Strange. They bore me. I've played them a lot too. I just don't like them. They're boring, right? I want to play this guy because I can move around. I can punch, cling to walls. You can even do 360s with him. I just recently, well, not recently, not for a while. He's fun, man. He's just fun. He's fun, and he's hard to use. I like that they made him, his exile, not easy to get off. fun. Right? Not everybody wants to play Magneto and Strange, but I understand people want to win, so you have to respect that. And this is how you do it, right? But yeah, guys, I think that's it for me. So just like, comment, subscribe. I hope it helped, right? If you're a Hulk player or you want to play a Hulk or you want to improve on Hulk, this is what you have to do, right? Juggling is another thing, but the fundamentals are very important because you're not always going to get a juggle, right? I had gotten to a point where I could juggle, right? But even if I got the juggle, if I'm not doing all this other stuff, right? The play style, knowing what play style to play based on the tanks that are there, knowing what to do when I ult safely to get good enough value and not just die every single time, right? And countering enemy ults as well with my cooldowns. These are all, you have to know these things or else your team will complain and then you will have to switch off and then they'll label you a thrower and all this other stuff, just because even though you just want to have fun on your character and still win. Like, I want to win too, but I want to win. I hate that in order to win games sometimes I have to play this boring character, right? Why can't I just play Hulk? But this is what you can do to at least mitigate, right, how much you have to do it, especially this season, because he is objectively the worst tank in the game. But yeah, that's it for me.